League softball matchup between the visiting Hilltop Cadets and the Liberty Center Tigers. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a country with liberties and freedoms like no other. To honor America, we ask that you please stand for the playing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. All attendants are reminded that this is a game between young adults, that sporting behavior is expected. The umpires assigned to today's game have been done so accordingly to the standards adapted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Tonight's officials are Scott Hellberg and Michael Bartley. These gentlemen are providing a necessary part of today's game and all are reminded to treat them with respect. Let's meet our teams. First, the visitors, the Hilltop Cadets. Playing shortstop number 6, Hallie Jones. Behind the plate, number 0, Kenley Rout. Playing third, number 4, Brooklyn Kuzmal. Playing left field, number 17, Kelsey Conley. On the mound, number 2, Jaya Rising. Right fielder, number 32, Sophia Crossgrove. Playing first, number 24, Libby Baker. The designated player, number 19, Isabella Ackley. Center fielder, number 7, Sophie Graham. And the flex player playing second, number 1, Eliana Van Arsdalen. Hilltop is coached by Tom Scapper, Maddie Scapper, Natalie Schaffner, and Larry Robarge. And now let's meet your Liberty Center Tigers. Playing second, number 1, Addie Zintek. Playing shortstop, number 2, Hope Atkinson. On the mound, number 19, Mackenzie Fuller. Left fielder, number 13, Bailey Crow. Playing center, number 30, Aubrey Zeider. Right fielder, number 11, Madison Foster. Playing third, number 23, Macy Crew. The designated player, number 5, Lanny Hammontree. Playing first, number 4, Bridget Capretta. And behind the plate, number 15, Hannah Culler. The Tigers are coached by Nicole Kyle, assisted by Darcy Moeller, Emily Young, Peg Zintek, Danielle Jones, and Lexi Meyer. Good luck to both teams.
Good evening, or excuse me, boy, here we go already. Good afternoon on a warm, balmy, sunlit day where we've got 82 degrees somewhere, maybe in Abilene, Texas, but here it's about 42 degrees, wind blowing hard to left center field. With me today, of course, is the legend Mr. Scott Barrett, who former coach of the Liberty Center Lady Tigers. Scott's got a daughter playing in Arizona, and I'm sure her weather's a little better right now. Scott, how is that working out?
83 degrees, not a drop of rain, perfect weather. And this weekend, Spike, she had a game in San Diego, a doubleheader. So rough weather for Beatrice Barrett, a former Liberty Center Tiger.
Okay. So Liberty Center comes in at 4-1. Hilltop 5-0. This should be a good battle. They both run ruled their one opponent, common opponent, North Central. Scott, what about the rest of the schedule?
Yeah, Tom Shopper, 5-0. This Hilltop team, this is his 13th season. Comes in basically at 2-1 and 76. Hilltop, one of the finest small school programs in Northwest Ohio. And Tom's been around a while, coaches a very aggressive brand of softball, Spike. You'll see a lot of slappers, a lot of variety in their offense. They know how to create runs a lot of different ways. Very creative on offense.
Well, the leadoff hitter, batting left-handed. Crew playing in tight, coming in a few steps. Hope Atkinson at short also playing in a little bit on a left-hand hitter. Zintek at second, playing back. Swing and a miss. Strike one, that'll even the count.
You know, cold day like this, Spike, you've played many of them. The ball gets a little dry and slippery when you get something at 40 degrees with the wind blowing.
Yeah. Bunt attempt. Called strike. Well, she may have offered at it. So, anyway, the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, the corner infielder's in now, still in with 2 strikes. Pitch, swing and a miss on a pitch that was a little bit outside, had her looking. So, a strikeout.
The most important out of the game is the first out of the game. The most important pitch per, at bat is the first strike. So, great job by Mackenzie to get ahead, get an out, 1 out Liberty.
Mackenzie Fuller, the pitcher, swing a little chop. That'll go foul over on the first base side, 1 strike. Mackenzie with a 3.34 ERA so far in this. She's pitched 2 games for Liberty Center.
Mackenzie, kind of a power pitcher, 2 pitches, fastball, changeup. She will throw a rise on occasion and worked on her drop ball, but this Hilltop team wants to put it in play and create some chaos by putting the ball on the ground and put it in play.
Kenley Rout, the second hitter, also left-handed. Tigers playing straight away in the outfield. Hope Atkinson, pitch on the outside corner taken for a called strike. That makes the count 1-2.
Great job by Hannah Culler, junior catcher. Really framed up that outside half of the plate to get a strike.
High, that'll even the count, 2-2. Atkinson playing relatively deep and over towards third base. They respect that hitting the ball to the opposite side possibility. Slaps at it. Foul straight back.
Nikki Kyle, the head coach, calls the pitches and is really working away to these left-handers, trying to force the ball to the left side of our 2 best defenders.
Atkinson creeps in a couple steps at short. Chop, it's going to be tough play. Charges Zintek, toss to first, got her! Zintek had to hurry with the left-hand batter up that extra half step. She came in, got the ball. No wind-up, just a simple flip, and got her by a couple strides.
Great job by Mackenzie Fuller, Spike. You get 2 outs, opening inning. You want to get outs here. No base runners so far. So good for Mackenzie.
Yep, she's bringing the ball across the plate. High, pot fly on the infield, foul territory, moving over, and the wind, I believe, probably had something to do with moving that thing around.
Yeah, you like to see your catcher get out in front of that ball, turn her back to the infield. As you mentioned earlier, Spike, this is a 20 to 25-mile-an-hour wind to left field, so that ball's going to come right back at you as a catcher.
Right. Yep, 0-1 to count. A line drive over Crew's head into left field on 2 hops, picked up there. So a base hit for Fuller. Excuse me. For Cosmo.
Anytime you give up an out like that, typically comes back to bite you. So I'm suspecting you'll see some pretty aggressive base running here.
All right, Conley, the left fielder. Scott, I looked down. I missed the pitch.
Just a fastball up, easy fly ball to Zeider in center field to finish the inning. But, you know, the play before where Hannah didn't quite get turned, you know, typically that's what happens. You give up an easy out, although that wind is blowing not so easy. But then the base hit by Kazamal and got our base runner. I was suspecting they would be running on the pitch. I think they were pretty aggressive in their lead. I think Hannah Culler's done a really nice job this year so far being competitive, throwing runners out. But with the weather like this, Spike, you're going to see both offenses try to just get the ball in play and make the defense make plays today. And I think that's what Hilltop was trying to get done.
Okay. Look down, one pitch, and the fly out retires the side. So for Liberty Center, coming to the plate, Addie Zintek playing second base, Hope Atkinson the shortstop, and Mackenzie Fuller the pitcher, your first three hitters.
Now, this top of the lineup for Liberty Center has been stellar so far in their 4-1 start. And this is Nikki Kyle's third season, and she is 34-12. Pretty good record for Nikki. She's done a good job with this club. A pretty young club, Spike. You're looking at 5 sophomores and freshmen in the starting lineup, a couple seniors, and a couple juniors. So this Liberty Center team's had a great start, but it's all been Addie, Hope, Mackenzie. And you got a nice production from freshman Bailey Crow and Aubrey Zeider. So top of the lineup matters a lot for Liberty.
All right, Addie Zintek hitting .524 on the year. An important stat in my book, anyway, is that she hits the ball hard at a 72% clip. She's making great contact. Pitch taken down low for a ball. Addie, or right-hand hitter. Both corners, of course, playing in close. Pitch taken high and away, 2-0.
We want to get Addie Zintek on the base pass. She's a terror. One of the fastest players, I believe, in Liberty Center softball history, at least recent history. She can book it.
Pitch. Line drive over the left fielder's heading all the way. Gets gone! Home run for Addie Zintek. Wow, caught one in the wheelhouse, and that ball was hit like a rocket. That was not wind-aided.
I'll tell you what, that is what thing that Addie Zintek does have is sneaky power, and the wind is blowing out, but she got a 2-0 pitch, and that's just a veteran, Spike senior. She's seen a lot of pitches over her career, got herself in a 2-0 count. Great job by the leadoff hitter, and then hits a line drive home run to give the Tigers an early lead.
Hope Atkinson hitting .389, but she's got a 61% opportunity there on hitting the ball hard, so another aggressive hitter. And one thing I like about this team this year, I watched them play. They're very aggressive at the plate. Hard swing, ball chop foul off to the right side.
That's one thing Nikki likes is aggressiveness. Does not like to take pitches, wants those kids hitting, and so far so good for Liberty Center at 1-0.
Yeah, Liberty Center for a team, very few strikeouts. Pitch down in the dirt. That'll make it 1-2.
Giada Rising's a left-hander. Throws a lot of screwballs away from the right-handed hitter, so Liberty's going to have to take the ball the other way. She got the ball a little too far in there on Addie Zintek, but the right-handers will see a lot of balls away today.
Pitch, I assume down low. Looked like it caught the corner, so we've got the count evened up now at 2-2. The outfield playing, here's a fly ball down the right field line, and hooks foul.
You know, with the wind today, Spike, that right fielder today could tighten up a little bit. You saw the ball get knocked down.
Yeah.
There's some hits in there today. That wind will play some nasty tricks on the outfielders, in particular that right fielder.
Pitch, that's way outside. Now we're looking at a full count. Hope Atkinson, even though hitting .389, she's got a .556 slugging percentage, so she likes those gap hits. Good aggressive swinger.
I like this leadoff. Top of the lineup, Liberty Center taking them deep in counts.
Here's a fly ball into right field coming on. Can't get there. It's a base hit for Hope Atkinson.
You knew there was some hits over there. That foul ball, the way the right fielder reacted and the second baseman, that thing was screwballing a little bit. Nice little duck snort. Again, Liberty Center, top of the lineup. A lot of production, Spike.
Boy,
out of the
so
top four kids, and you're getting it right now. And
right now we've got Mackenzie Fuller up to bat. She is hitting .813. Here, sticks it out, showing bunt. Here's a head first slide in safely. Hope Atkinson. She did?
Yes, she did.
Oh, boy.
That's a tough one.
No, I missed it. Is that an appeal call or the umpire just calls it?
You could appeal it, guys, but at the end of the day, he was right on top of that. He's a very good umpire at first base. No argument here, and a wasted runner for the Tigers.
Okay, pitch taken outside. That'll even it at 1-1.
Mackenzie is just having a monster start to the season. This left-hander will keep the ball away. If she has a good plan, I wouldn't bring it anywhere near Mackenzie in the inside part of the plate.
Mackenzie's slugging percentage, now get this. This is 1.56. That means she averages a base and a half every time she steps into the batter's box. A lot of power. Ball taken down low. 3-1 the count now.
Gietta Rising just staying away from Mackenzie Fuller, and you got first base open, and then you got a freshman in the 4-hole. I'd rather pitch to the freshman, Spike, than a hot hitter in Mackenzie Fuller.
Oh, yeah. The wind to pitch. Shot towards second base. Several bounces. Flipped up and dropped over there. Easy play for the second sacker, but the first baseman couldn't hang on, so it'll be an E3. But that will put Fuller on base with 1 out.
Really good by Giada Rising, the Hilltop pitcher, just staying away. That probably is a ball 4, but Mackenzie just wanting to be aggressive, puts the ball into play, and unfortunately it was an error in the first baseman to get her on base.
All right, here's Crow. Chop, foul behind the plate, 1 strike. Bailey Crow hitting 438, which is pretty impressive. Her slugging percentage is .688. She hits the ball hard 81% of the time. Slow grounder to second. The only play is at first. And out there is Crow, but the runner advances to second on the fielder's choice.
Nice piece of pitching by Gietta Rising again. That was a little slider in on the hands of the freshman Bailey Crow, and advanced the runner, got a girl on second base with 2 outs, but some pretty good pitching by Giada, getting that easy ground ball.
Aubrey Zeider also hitting .438. She'll step to the plate, and she carries an .813 slugging percentage, second highest on the team. A lot of gap power with a home run for Aubrey. Good lead down there at second base. Has to come back, of course. Now the count 2-0.
Bailey Crow, the freshman, has been a surprise for Nikki and this Tiger team early. Have her in the 4-hole with a really good hitter in Aubrey Zeider in the 5.
A strike down there around the knees. That'll make it 2-1. Aubrey's been a solid hitter, last year and this year both.
She had a great year last year for a freshman. I'll tell you what, Spike, this Giada Rising doing a good job throwing little sliders in on hands of the right-handers.
Line drive, fair ball down the left field line, rounding third and scoring for Liberty Center. Here goes Zeider, and she'll go in standing up at second base with a double on a line shot down the third base line. That ball hit the ground, went over the bags fair because I thought it could be close, but a double for Zeider, and that'll score a run.
Great base running by Aubrey. Watched the throw develop, got halfway. Coach Emily at first base got her to second in scoring position. Just great base running by the Tigers.
Good call there, Scott. Madison Foster now, the right fielder.
Speed demon, likes to slap it. Just get it in play here, and you get opportunity to get your third run. Spike Madison's been working on this slap for a couple of years, and she struggled a little bit because she could always run, was a great pinch runner, ran a lot for Beatrice Barrett, but Looks like she's been able to put together some effective slapping here the last couple games.
Yeah, in fact, the other night she went to slap it down, and the ball hit the bat so square, it was out over the shortstop's head for a base hit. And she never even, of course, just stuck her bat out, never went through.
There you go.
Little chopper, that's going to be trouble. Picked up by the third baseman. Throw to first, not in time. And here comes Zeider, and she'll score from second base on that infield hit. The ball was dropped, but it was safe anyway, so it would have.
Just a great job again by the slapper, Madison Foster Jr. And I'll tell you, the key to that entire run right there was Aubrey Zeider getting to second base with 2 outs.
Oh, yeah.
And just really impressed with the execution of the base running. Great job by our first base coach, Coach Emily. Liberty Center running the bases really well. And this is a 5-0 Hilltop team, Spike. And a head coach that's been around for 13 years. He's not very happy with the way his defense is played. But it's cold. It's raw. Very, very difficult to play defense on the infield in this entire offensive kind of approach by Liberty Center. Really balanced. You've got some bunters. You've got some power hitters. You've got some runners. I like what I see here, up 3-0 early.
Okay, looking good. So, 2 outs. At bat, Macy Crew. She's the third baseman, hard-nosed. Pitch taken down low, ball 1.
I think you'll see Liberty Center run here. Madison Foster. She's got to watch her jump, though. That leave early will tighten up those leads, but I think Madison runs here.
Pitch just missed outside, 2-0.
Good time to run. 2 outs, Spike. You're going to get something to hit here. And Macy Crew, a veteran, had a really nice year last year, all-league player for Liberty. So here we go.
Here's the slide in time at second base. Wow, that was a good throw by the catcher. Shortstop covered, put the tag down, but a slide just to the outside.
Really good throw by Kenley Rout off of her
Foster.
knees. But now we got another runner in scoring position, a little base knock here, and we're up 4-0 in inning number 1.
Macy Crew hitting .286, but she's got an on-base percentage of almost .500. Draws walks, gets hit by pitches. She's a gamer. Slightly open stance. Pitch taken up high. That'll make it 3-1.
Base is open here, but I think you'll see Rising go after her. But I love the aggressiveness. 2-0.
Yes.
Runner runs behind a veteran hitter. A base hit, there's a run scored. So we'll see what Macy can do here. Got a nice
Top
pitch to hit there.
Back, foul. That'll make the count full at 3-2.
Good swing by Macy, 3-1. Got the fastball over the plate, just missed it. She's going to get another one right here.
7th hitter in the lineup at bat now with Crew. Tip foul and strike 3. Ball held by the catcher. That'll retire the side. But Liberty Center with 3 runs on 3 hits. And let's see, 1 error at third base or at first base. And Liberty Tigers on top, 3-0.
Hey, while we got a break in between innings, join us tomorrow as we'll open up with the boys baseball in their first televised game. And they'll take on the, looks like, the Genoa Comets. And that'll be 5 o'clock. Steve Parasini, probably myself on the call. Maybe a few other guest announcers here.
We'll sneak in the booth with you a little bit. Love doing some baseball, too.
There you go. Well, I just signed you up. Uh-oh, is that your agent calling?
Wait a
Because he
minute,
heard
hold
you.
on. Wait a second.
No more booking fees.
Great first inning for the Tigers, Spike. 3-0, just the way you want to start here at home.
Yeah, they did it all. They used power, they stole bases, they ran aggressively, and they hit the ball hard. First pitch, little shot, going back. Atkinson there moves underneath that soft liner for the first out.
I don't know how you feel about it, but seeing Hope Atkinson play shortstop after all the things she's been through, just a stabilizer on defense, and just that's a real easy play. Reminds me a little bit of a girl named Chappa.
Yeah.
Used to do one of the best all-time shortstops.
I really like what I've seen so far from Hope Atkinson. Little pop-up, and that's going to go back into the crowd. We've probably got hundreds of people here.
Standing room only down there?
Practically. There are a lot of – it's a tough night, but yeah. Pitch taken high. That'll even it at 1-1.
I like what I see out of Mackenzie. She's moving the ball around, changing some speed, Spike, moving the eyeballs of the hitter up, down, in and out, doing a nice mix of pitches here.
That pitch high. Going back to Atkinson, I love the way she plays shortstop. She can go in the hole, get the ball. She can go after it up the middle. But what she does best is taking a bite out of crime. She gets down there and two hands, everything. There's nothing one-armed unless she's got to go in the hole, or one-handed about Hope Atkinson.
The only thing that I would like to see her is play a little bit more to her glove side. That's a big up the middle, wide open space. She's a little bit close to third base for me. Good slider there by Mackenzie Fuller.
Boy, that'll strike two, so we got a full count now. One out, nobody on for Hilltop.
No walks here, Mackenzie. Ooh.
Ball four, a little too high.
You know, you got a lead.
And Crossgrove's safe at first on the walk.
If you have a lead at home, you do not want to give free base runners. Walks are like sins in softball. Now we're going to have to defend the running game a little bit here.
Here's Libby Baker, the tall first baseman, batting seventh. Pitch just a bit inside.
We're going to have to watch a delayed steal when you're throwing it easy back to the pitcher, hand of color off of her knees. That runner will delay steal.
Ball down low.
Hope Atkinson doing a good job of keeping an eye on the runner. Sometimes, Spike, when you delay steal, those infielders have kind of lulled themselves to sleep. And they're playing pretty deep, and they're way far away from second base. So
that is a huge gap up the middle. Pitch just misses on that around that outside corner, 3-0. Libby Baker with a stance way up in the box. Her front foot is out there just about touching that front line. The pitch taken right down the heart of the plate. Strike one.
3-1 here. Good 3-0 pitch by Mackenzie. Again, you do not want to get Hilltop back in this game by giving them free passes. Make him earn it.
That caught that upper half of the plate, somewhere in around that armpit area. Now we've got a full count. So Fuller bouncing back, battling now, brings it to full count.
Got her.
Pitch. Ooh, just inside. Wow. So another walk from Fuller. Baker now also at first.
Libby Baker at 6'2", Spike. That strike zone, a little expanded. But
yeah,
I thought the pitch that she got for 3-1 wasn't the same as 3-2. That 3-2 pitch looked like a pitcher's pitch on the inner half of the plate.
All right, line drive into left center field. That's going to go for a base hit all the way to the wall. One run scores. Rounding third, she'll score on the stand-up double. Isabella Ackley, not huge, rather diminutive, but boy, she caught all of that. One hopper off the fence to 203 mark. And Hilltop right back in the game, and now we see why they are 5-0.
Walks will kill you. And, when Mackenzie's been good, she's unhittable, but Mackenzie has struggled at times with walks, and there it was. And they're number 7 hole hitter. So, Mackenzie, I think when you're struggling to find the strike zone, you use more of the plate, make those balls more hittable, and she got a double in the gap there off an easy fastball.
All right, that makes the score 3-2. Swing and a miss. We have yet to see, of course, Hilltop hasn't had a lot of base runners yet, but we've yet to see them show that they may steal. Here's a bunt, popped up foul. It'll come back off the back screen. Strike 2. So the number 9 hitter you would expect to be bunting. Sophie Graham playing center field.
These Hilltop hitters are aggressive. Tom Schopper plays an aggressive style of softball. Hitter.
And
a hitter.
Rule.
Well, boy, we got bailed
Oh,
out
it
there.
hit the bat. Yeah, okay, it hit something. I thought maybe
I hit the handle.
helmet.
I think it hit the handle, but that's a bailout for McKenzie, with a couple walks and then hitting a runner. So we got a little lucky there.
All right, with 2 strikes, the number 9 hitter, we'll see if she throws a bunt anyway. To pitch.
Got her.
Swing and a miss on the outside corner, and that is strike 3. Now 2 outs.
Got to be careful with Haley Jones here, one of their top hitters, and Liberty Center's got to be aggressive. She's a slapper, so this left fielder is going to come into play. She's playing kind of deep for Liberty. Bailey Crow.
So runner on second with 2 outs. Slaps it, coming hard. Crew can't get there. Never got enough elevation. Crew got a good jump, but could not come anywhere close to getting that. So 1 strike.
With the wind blowing so hard to left, it's hard to play a slapper. You don't know to play too shallow or too deep.
And another line shot into center field.
Oh,
Gets
boy.
by. That's going to go all the way to the wall. The tying run scores. Now
She
rounding
may
second.
score here.
Now picked up. This may be a play at the plate. Cut off by the pitcher. Not in time. And a 4-run rally by Hilltop, and they've taken the lead 4-3. That was a shot to center field. Skipped under the glove all the way to the fence at the 2:15 mark. And Hilltop now, after those two walks.
Aubrey's got to get on a knee, keep that ball in front, split the runners first and third.
Line drive into the gap in right center field, cut off there, and a stand-up double. And so now Hilltop kicking up their heels.
As I was saying, the play before, Spike, you like to see your center fielder get down on a knee, keep that thing in front of her, split the runners, and you still got an opportunity. But McKenzie right now, using too much of the plate, making it a little too easy for these Hilltop hitters. That first inning, you could see her working half the plate. You can see her working quarters, blacks, changing some speeds. But, these last 2 or 3 hitters are starting to time her up pretty well. Second time through, too, to see McKenzie.
Was it the Hilltop girls that had a really good lady basketball team? Was it them that had the real good year?
I'm not sure that Hilltop had a great year, but they might have.
They had, now, pitch taken inside.
This happened the other night against Hicksville. Liberty got a lead and some walks, couple errors. Next thing you know, you're down 6-2. Liberty's got to get it together and make a defensive play here.
All right, 1 ball. Pitch right down the plate. Evens it at 1-1. Zintek with the right-hand hitter up now. Coming a long way to kind of cover up over on second base. Pop-up. Coming foul, and it ends up staying in play. Comes down off the screen. The wind had to have blown.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hannah can't give up on any ball with a 23-mile-an-hour wind. She's got to get to that fence, let that thing come back to her. That's a big out to give up.
Right, strike 3. Ball on the outside corner takes, and Liberty Center gets out of the inning. But Hilltop with 4 runs on 3 hits and 2 walks. They take the lead with 4 runs now, 4-3.
Hey, one of the things I want to mention, guys, about our schedule, a lot of people have commented that we've got 2 games on the same night, and that's absolutely true. A lot of the games, like when Montpelier comes, they're bringing both boys and girls, and we'll have both of those games live. You'll just have to switch between the streams. But we'll have both sessions going simultaneously.
Well, Mackenzie Fuller did a good job there, Spike, of getting back to commanding both sides of the plate. That was a tough outside half pitch and got the hitter looking. Good job by McKenzie to get herself out of a jam. But, this is going to be that kind of game where if you give away an out, if you walk 2 or 3 girls, both teams can rally up some runs and get things going. Hilltop strikes with 4 in the second and has a lead. But that was a lead that was kind of based on a couple walks, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Without those walks, make them put it in play. That's the biggest thing you got to do as a pitcher. No walks, make them put it in play the best you can. Trust your defense.
Well, there you go. We come out with a leadoff home run by Addie Zintek, nobody on base.
Mm-hmm.
So with the runners hitting with runners in scoring position, making the big hit, driving the ball, when it counts, that means so much. And that inning, Hilltop was given the chance, and they took advantage. So bottom of the second, 4-3 Hilltop.
Another freshman here, Laney Hammondtree. Big part of this rebuild, this youth rebuild with 5 sophomores and freshmen.
That ball way out on that outside corner. Might have got a little chalk. Now it's good. Umpire, it's good to have a little bit of a wide plate. Swing and a miss.
Nice changeup by Giada Rising. Starts her out with a fastball, outer half, throws a changeup, and has the freshman guessing a little bit here.
All right. Pitch taken up high. Laney would love to make contact here, but that's what this Liberty team's all about. A good contact hitting team. Infield playing it straight up. Tip foul. It'll roll into the Liberty dugout.
Laney started the season playing a lot of JV spike. Really good catcher. Her sister, Riley Miller, was a phenomenal catcher in this program.
Yes, Riley Miller happens to be not the dentist, but the dental assistant in Delta that I go to.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't realize that was a sister.
So we talked about walks being a sin for the pitcher. Taking called third strikes without swinging it is sin number 2. Those are deadly sins to your softball team. And Laney Hammondtree goes down looking at a called third. Got to be aggressive. Got to put the ball in play and put the pressure on Hilltop's defense. And it's been a successful formula for Liberty when they do it.
Okay. Capretta. Bridget. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Another freshman, Bridget Capretta.
Now, you look at their shortstop and second baseman. They're playing a little bit closer to the second base bag than us. Not that it's mattered yet, but.
That's something I used to bark about all the time. I'd yell at Chap all the time. Get over Emma St. Clair. Get over a little closer to second base to your glove side. But, a lot of trust in your pitcher to be a good fielder for you, and that's what part of that is.
Pitch taken down low.
One of the things I like to do, Spike, against left-handed pitchers when it's freezing cold outside is bunt on the third baseline, make that pitcher pick it up and spin around.
It got her in on the fist. Capretta able to get the bat around enough to get the handle of the bat on the ball. So stays alive now, the count 2-2.
Good little cut fastball or slider in on the hands of the right-hander. Giada Rising's got a couple nice-looking pitches, good weapons.
Pitch way up high. That's a full count. Tigers have been able to carry their pitcher into deep counts here. We'll see if that can pay off here as we move along in the game. Fastball down there around the knees, called strike 3.
Laney Hammondtree, Bridget Capretta, freshman. They will learn pretty quickly. You've got to put the ball in play. 3-2. You've got to be aggressive. Green light, very aggressive. A little bit like an Addie Zintek here. You don't see her take many call thirds. I don't think I've ever seen one in her career.
No.
That's how aggressive she is.
Pitcher with a good backhand stop of a ball that got away.
Both those freshmen are going to be great. Those freshmen are going to be good players, Spike. There's a good learning curve for them.
Popped up on the infield,
That's
ball blowing around, and it's going to be a base hit. Boy, we've seen that again with Liberty on defense. That wind moving the ball around. shoved it back into fair territory, I believe.
Yes, it did. Every ball that's in the air today could be a triple. Now you're going to see Eddie Zintek. You're going to give her a jump, let her run. She has got an absolute speed to burn. Liberty's got to get a girl in scoring position here to get this game tied.
Hope Atkinson had a base hit her first time up, pops it up, and catcher, it never got high enough to be affected by the wind, popped it up, grabbed in foul territory, so that's the third out of the inning. And after 2 full innings of play, it's Hilltop 4, Liberty Center 3.
Hey, while we're between innings, our sponsors, they've been with us all year, and they make these games happen. They are KK Collision, Meyer Payton Hupp Insurance, Affinity IT Group, Ohio Asphalt Paving, Davis Farm Services, Swanton Welding, Pisanello's Pizza, Gerald Grain Centers, and Holgate Metal Fab. Also, these cameras that you're viewing in these broadcasts were brought to you by the Liberty Center Athletic Boosters, and their high definition 20x zoom, pan tilts, tracking, you name it, it's got it on there. And we appreciate all of our sponsors that have helped us bring these broadcasts to you. So they support us, guys. So please support them.
You know, Spike, that little series at the end of the inning there with Addie getting on base with a troubled pop fly in the infield, you know, she's going to steal a base. And Atkinson, you talk about Liberty being aggressive, and you hit the nail on the head. Atkinson ends up swinging at a pitch in on her hands. Yeah. Doesn't give Addie really a chance to steal there. I love the aggressiveness, but I would have liked to have seen her take a pitch, get Addie to second base. That probably wasn't a strike either on Hope Atkinson. And easy out to end the inning for Hilltop. Missed opportunity.
Is that typical of sophomores, girls, and just because of the nature of the beast?
I think it would come from the coach. You take a pitch, let Addie Zintek steal the base, you know, and then you get a girl on second base with Hope up 1-0 on the count. Instead, we popped up, gave him an easy out.
All right, top of the third inning. Line drive that sails foul, out of play.
You know, Nikki was my assistant for several years, and we would argue about that because she really hated to take pitches. And she's right. She is right. But in that situation, let Addie steal that base and get her in scoring position.
Taken for a ball. 2-1 the count.
I like watching Mackenzie Fuller work. You know, good rhythm. Give me the ball. Gets back on the rubber. Like to see her develop more of a changeup. She's kind of a one-speed pitcher. Like to see her throw a little more changeups.
Foul straight back. 2-2 now.
Mackenzie, a power pitcher and a power hitter. Tall girl, 5'8", 5'9", very athletic. And just likes to throw it hard. She's got a couple spinners.
Leadoff hitter takes high. Conley flew out to center field her first time up.
Number 4-hole hitter. She has power to all field, so keep that ball down. Need a ground ball here.
Slightly open stance. Chops to third, or to short. Picked up Atkinson. Ball in the dirt. It'll bounce to the fence and safe. On the throw coming across the infield. A slow hit ball, and that was a challenge.
And good job by Mackenzie. Got the easy ground ball, and Hope playing pretty deep. That's a pretty long throw in the wind. Like to see her make that play. Base runner for Hilltop.
She'll advance.
Runner in scoring
Pitch
position.
in the dirt.
Well, Hannah Culler's got to handle that pitch that was moving away from her glove, Spike, and got to handle those pitchers. You know, those pitches, the root word of catcher is catch. Catch everything.
Rising, the pitcher now is at the plate, bats with an open stance, left-handed. Swing and a miss, got her on a fastball, so now that evens the count 1-1. Her last time up, she hit that soft liner to Atkinson over there in the hole. A slap there. Now attempted bunt, gets it out in front of home plate. This is trouble, and they've got nowhere to go.
That's got to be
Crew came all the way in from third to pick it up, but a bunt single.
That's got to be Hannah Culler. That ball's sitting 2.5 feet away from her right foot, and Liberty now in a tough spot. You know, Hannah's a little indecisive there. That ball was right on top of the plate. Get up, throw that ball to first, and get your out.
All right, we're going to have a time called. Here comes Coach Kern, or I'm sorry.
Coach Kyle.
Yeah.
But she is a Kern, Spike,
She's a Kern.
so you're not wrong. Jim Kern probably loves to hear.
Yeah. All right, so just a quick timeout. Now the team gathers at the pitcher's mound while they get some strategy. So what we're looking at, runners on first and third and nobody out. Sophia Crossgrove, who drew a walk to get the 4-run second inning going.
Here comes a first and third situation. Do you throw through? Do you pump? Or you let her take the base? Big opportunity here for Hilltop.
Swing and a miss. Got the high Hardman in there, 1 strike. Boy, if you're Liberty Center, if you can get out of here giving up 1 run in this situation with the runner all the way over to third with nobody out.
Hannah Culler now directing some first and third defense as Hilltop most assuredly will try to bait a throw to score this 5th run for Hilltop. We'll see how we execute.
Shows bunt in the dirt, bounces around, and runner from first moves up to second base. Runner at third held, of course.
Good job by Hannah to keep that ball playable. That could have been a disaster.
All right, 1-1 to count. Crew in at third. Hope Atkinson in even with the bags at shortstop. High pop up. That'll go straight back. Hits off the roof. That'll make the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Boy, you'd love to see some off-speed outside beyond the outside corner and a whiff here.
I want to see a line drive to Crew and a double play.
Line
Here you
drive
go.
to
Oh,
Cruz.
you had it.
Got a glove on it. That'll hold the runners. Buck, you called it again. Crew reacted well. She was down in a low crouch. Went way high. Got her glove on it. Saved 2 runs.
Man, oh
Ball
man,
was
you know,
headed down the left field line.
had the opportunity for the line drive double play. Now, you want Crew. She's playing in there, which I get it, but you're playing even. That's an easier play, and her hand is ringing in this weather. Bases loaded now. Liberty's got to get an out. Defend this run best you can, infield in.
Here's the pitch. Taken on the outside corner for a strike. Libby Baker drew the second walk of the inning last time up.
Libby, a 6'2" girl, so a little bigger strike zone. There you go.
And strike 2 up there. Yep. A high pitch to most people, but
This is a big one, Spike. Get yourself a ground ball and get at least the lead runner at home plate. Going to need Hannah Culler here.
ooh, just a little bit too high. 1-2 now.
Like to see Hannah Culler put that right foot on the plate, get that first out as a force. See if we can pitch this girl outside, get Baker to hit a ground ball to Eddie Zintek, make a good throw here.
Swing and a
Great
miss.
job.
Strike 3. That was big.
Huge. Huge.
Now that opens up Liberty's defense to where they've got some options.
Well, and if Crew can just finish that catch hard, boy, you know, Mackenzie's ready to work herself out. But this could be a double play ball here, too.
Here's the, I'll call her the DP.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh, throwing the dirt. The runner at third did not get a jump. She held, and once she hesitated, she perhaps wisely held up.
Kelsey not super happy with herself, and Coach Shopper is chirping her. That's an easy run, but Hannah got to get on her knees to block that ball, keep it in front of the plate.
Strike 1. After that low pitch was in the dirt the first time, that'll even at 1-1.
Spike, you're an old pitcher yourself. Don't go begging yet. Don't go begging.
Yeah.
There you
Swing
go.
and a miss. Got her on that high, hard one up around the shoulders. 1 and 2 the count. Now, it was Isabella Ackley here at the bat that hit that double on 2 hops off the fence that scored 2 runs.
Ooh.
Strike
Got her.
3. Got her on
Top
the
of
high
the zone.
one. Woo!
Big time pitch by Mackenzie Fuller. Little hesitation by the umpire, but they love to ring batters up. They don't want to call a ball. There's no enthusiasm. So we got a chance to get the old lawnmower out. Strike 3, 2 outs for Liberty. This is going to be huge.
The
Gotta
center
make.
fielder, Graham, up. She swung on a swinging strikeout her first time up. Boy, a big time at bat here. A big at bat. Fly ball into right field. That's trouble coming on. And dives. Got a glove on it. Couldn't come up with it. 1 run scores. 2 run scores. And now the runner from first all the way around. And a 3-run double on a pop fly that fell into center field in the gap in right center. Zeider came in, made a great job. Great hustle. Good job. Dove for the ball, got her glove on it, but just a seeing eye, pop fly Texas League double and 3-run score.
Got to check your depth there. Madison Foster playing really deep. That ball's in right center.
Line drive, now that's going to hit into the gap. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Runner on second scores, rounding second, heading for third.
She may be going home here.
And the throw is going to be not in time and inside the park, home run. Hilltop hitting the ball with gusto.
Got to hit your cutoff there, control the ball, because once that thing got through, second base, and Mackenzie Fuller's out there, I'm not sure exactly what the relay situation was like there, but I think that's a second straight at bat where she got home on kind of some miscalculated outfield play, and now they're up 9-3.
5 runs with 2 outs.
Defense, Spike. This game is pitching and defense. You look at the runs, you say, well, it's all about the offense, but it's not really. It's really about pitching and defense in this game, and Liberty's had some lapses. It's cost them 9 runs.
And Rout chops at it. It'll go foul behind the plate.
I'm not sure what you saw on that relay. That ball got to the fence. Like you said, it got to about 212, and you're kind of wondering who is the initial cutoff, because Zeider really winged it, and there was just no one there except Mackenzie.
Yeah, she's got to be out near the second base bag. And a little hot grounder right up the middle into that big gap and a base hit.
Got to hit that cutoff, Aubrey. And, yeah, our infielders are really playing into those first and third base holes rather than up the middle. So it looks like Coach Nikki will make a change here, it looks like, and go to Ella Miller. But, that really wasn't about Mackenzie. I think there was some defensive lapses. We've given away a lot of outs, didn't execute, on a relay and cutoff. And Liberty Center now a little bit of trouble here at 9-3 in the top of the third, Spike.
Well, you get down into those spots, and it's hitting with runners in scoring position. Yep. And that time she got that, game of tweeners and overs.
Yep.
A Texas leaguer that we got a glove on it, but very difficult.
That ball that dropped that Aubrey Zeider made a heck of a play on and covered a ton of ground. I really kind of felt like that was a ball that Madison Foster, had she controlled the depth that she was at, could have made that play. But, again, Aubrey, just a great hustle. But outfield play, I always said that, your infield play will give up runners and outfield play will give up runs.
Yeah.
And we've had some tough outfield play, and we've given up a lot of runs out there today. Aubrey letting that ball scoot under her glove for, I think, a single and an inside the park kind of home run error deal. So Liberty's got to tighten it up in the outfield. And, with our offense, though, Spike, we're aggressive. We can score runs with anybody. So,
well, looking at this inning, it started on the throwing error for the first runner to be safe, and then that little slap bunt single out in front of home plate. There's 2 outs we didn't get. And when you give them opportunities.
Mark,
But
you have an observation,
that's
Mark?
part of the game.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, I was just going to ask, you talk about infield, outfield play, and you coached, was it 100 million years.
Yikes.
Did you have a coach kind of assigned to watching that, making those adjustments? The
Yeah.
head coach is doing 8,000 things.
Yep.
Did you have a coach assigned to that?
You did. You did. But you knew, the head coach kind of controls the defensive, kind of setup of the infield and outfield depending on the situation. And with that wind blowing, it's been difficult on coaches and players today. Both teams have struggled with the ball in the air, and we knew that would happen, Spike.
Yeah. Tough breeze, tough day. High pop-up, that's going to be out there. Zintek moving out, edge of the outfield grass. Camps makes the catch. Tigers get out of there, but not after an explosive inning by Hilltop. They lead it 9-3.
Hey, once again, join us next week or tomorrow if we get it in. It's supposed to be cold. Genoa, the Comets will come to town to take on our boys, and then on the 17th, Delta comes to town, and we'll have both of those games for you live and on our channels. And then on the 25th, we're back to Montpelier Locomotive, the Locos. That's a school, I'll tell you what, is revised their athletics. Montpelier was down athletics for a little bit, but basketball, both boys and girls did a good job this year.
Good AD. Yep. Caleb Pullman, their AD is who? Didn't he win the AD of the year, Administrator of the Year over there? The AD at Montpelier? I thought I read something where he was voted the OHSAA Administrator of the Year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's done a good job. They've always had a good wrestling program. They've been, they're an old NWOAL team, a charter member. We hated to see them leave, but they have. You said revised. I say revived over there in Montpelier in Williams County. One of the things they had in Montpelier that when I grew up, Spike, was the best crash-up derby, Williams County Fair.
Oh,
they'd shut the whole place down.
Oh, yeah, that was a big deal. I forgot about that.
Now back to softball.
Mackenzie Fuller leading off, got on by a throwing error in the first inning. Or, excuse me, a dropped throw at first base. McKenzie gets that one. Long,
That's
deep over the center fielder's head. It's off the wall. Rounding first, heading for second is Fuller, and she'll come steaming in with a stand-up double off the bottom of the wall out there in dead center field. She continues her robust hitting.
Yeah, she's got a lot of power and has had a great start to the season. Liberty hasn't gotten into the meat of the schedule quite yet. Today kind of represents a little tougher team. They haven't had a tough schedule quite yet, but this one is, and good job by McKenzie. Ball was drilled.
Chop foul. It'll out in front of home plate. One strike.
I really like this Bailey Crow, one of the three freshmen that are starting today. I said two earlier. There's three of them. Bailey, Lainey Hammondtree, and Bridget Capretta, all good players. But this one's in the 4-hole. Really like Bailey Crow's swing.
Up high. Fuller took a look at it. Crow hit that slow grounder to second base. A good jump out in front with Zintek. A little pop-up. That's going to hit fair and then go foul. Hit just inside the line, but a little bloop shot. And now the count, 1-2 strikes.
See our girls, Spike, shaking their hands. It's cold out there. Giada Rising throws that little cut fastball or a little slider right in on the hands of the right-hander. Been very effective today for her. There it was.
Swing and a miss. She may have tipped it, but right into the catcher's glove. So the first out of the inning.
Rising doing a great job getting the ball in on the right-handers of Liberty Center. Our hitters struggling with that slider on the hands, and Tom Schopper calling a pretty good game over there in the dugout for Hilltop.
Aubrey Zeider can hit the ball to all fields. She had a double right down the left field line. Now bunts out in front of home plate. pitcher goes directly to first, doesn't look at the runner. With a 9-3 lead, you can afford to make sure you get that out at first base on the play.
Yeah, I'm struggling with the bunt there. I don't know if they called it or that was her, but you don't want the pitcher to field it unless it's to her left or right. Left-handers struggle to throw the ball to first base. They've got a wheel, but if you basically punt it right back to them, easy play, 2 outs for Hilltop.
Foster got a little bunt single, slap single in that first inning.
You know, one thing I was looking for too is Giada Rising. You know, you have a base open there, and the girl in the 5-hole. You might get a walk there. Ooh,
Swing and a miss on a pitch way out on the outside corner. So now in a hole is Foster, 0-2.
just make some contact, create some havoc here. We need a run.
And a swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that'll end the inning for Liberty Center. No runs on 1 hit. And after 3 full innings of play, 9-3.
Really good job by Giada Rising, the left-hander, throwing the curveball away from the slapper. The left-handed slapper is going towards first base, so that entire outside lane is wide open, and Madison did not make contact. And oftentimes, Spike, those slappers are already moving to first, right? So the lefty-lefty matchup, the curveball really created an issue for Liberty right there on the strikeout. Needed some contact. Liberty down 9-3. Got to have kind of a shutdown inning here from Ella Miller.
Well, right now, after 3 full innings of play, Hilltop, 9 runs on 9 hits. And that big inning, the 5-run inning, was all ignited with an error and then a couple of walks. And that just really opened the door. And then the pop fly single, so you can always look back and say shoulda, coulda, woulda, a little bit of luck and a little bit of a lack of execution. But that's why this is softball. You get those things. They're certainly factors in every game. So leading off here in the bottom or top of the 4th inning.
Yeah, we did when they made the pitching change, and she's been very effective. She spins it nicely and throws a lot of curveball sliders away from right-handers.
She's one of those kids that you want to talk about a kid that has worked hard to develop her pitching. Ella's one of those kids.
For sure. A lot of time. A lot of time.
A pitch that was inside. That almost jammed, but she got around on it and yanked it foul down the third baseline.
2-0 pitch. Kelsey Conley doing us a favor. That ball was on her shoestrings, on the top of her shoes, and you don't want to let Ella Miller get back into a count because she'll slider you to death. 2-1 count. We'll see what she's got here. Boy, oh boy, Addie Zintek is playing so close to first base that the middle of the infield is just wide open.
Yeah. Yeah, that's over half the infield there.
Ooh, nice pitch.
Inside, and got her cutting again and chasing another pitch that was inside. So now 2-2.
And you're down 2-0. And Conley, who's had a nice ball game, good contact hitter for this Hilltop team, just swinging at 2 balls just right down on her kneecaps. Good pitches there, though, by Ella Miller. Ooh, changeup.
Ooh. That hung up there for a while, but it was inside, and Conley, after fouling 2 off that were inside, let it go. She flew out to center field her first time up, safe on a throwing error on the infield her second time. That's what started that big inning. Pitch down in the dirt, and she'll go to first base.
And you do not like walks. With nobody out, the leadoff walks just kill you, and Liberty's got to get those under control with the errors and walks, stay in this game.
All right, Rising, a left-hand hitter, hit a soft liner slapping it to short and got a bunt single her last time up. Pitch in the dirt, and that'll go back to the fence. Runner will move ahead. You know, Hilltop hasn't shown a willingness to run. They're just doing it with bunts and walks and hitting the ball.
Wild pitch there by Ella. Tough to handle for Hannah Culler. Runner in scoring position.
Takes it outside.
And that was a good block by Hannah Culler. She's had her moments of struggle with the wind, but that was a good job by Hannah. The goal here for the left-handed hitter is to pull it to get the runner over to third.
Right up the middle, and that's going to go unchallenged. A ground single up the middle, rounding third, coming home, throw off line, and the base runner rising will move to second base with a hard ground single right up the middle.
You like to see a ball cut off there. I don't know that we had a chance to throw her out. She was rounding third as Zeider came up throwing another throw that goes errant to the screen, and those are the little things that you've got to be able to execute on to keep a game under control. Now Hilltop, another runner in scoring position on an errant throw, and there are a couple runs from getting within that 10-run rule limit. So Liberty's got to bear down here on defense.
Yeah, one run in this inning already, now 10-3. Sophia Crossgrove drew a walk her first time up. Hit a line drive off Cruz's glove, a base hit, her second time up. Pitch hangs outside, high and away, so 2-0. Hilltop, you got to admit, they're a good hitting team. We've given them some openings, but they make good contact. Chop, Crew comes in, charges, fires to first, and wait a minute, did
Foul
they
ball
call?
off her foot.
Yep, foul ball. She's hurting.
Well, it's with the wind chill, you're at 35, 34 degrees, and that does not feel good unless you're wearing steel-toe boots.
Yeah, that had to have hurt because the ball off her foot rolled all the way out to third to Crew.
Yes, dogs are barking pretty good for her.
Can you believe I've been talking and people can't hear me?
You do a lot of talking, Mark.
And people don't listen, but they're saying they couldn't hear me. So I changed microphone channels. We'll see if that's a little bit different.
Okay, we're trying to get Crossgrove here shaken up a little bit. She's trying to get her foot figured out, Spike. Those are hard with the cold like this.
Well, here's where Liberty has got to take advantage. You know, they need an out desperately with that runner on second base. Yeah, got her swing around on that one. That was low and inside. Fouled it off again.
You know, Ella Miller,
2-2.
Ella Miller, Spike, doing a really nice job of moving balls in and out. I really like the way Crossgrove is really struggling with that foot, but really nice pitch there by Ella. In on the hands. 2-2.
And fouled straight back again. So the duel goes on here.
You know, Spike, Ella came in with an ERA below 2.
Yeah, 1.6.
And I think that her spin, both in and out, screwball and slider, have been very effective so far for the most part.
Pitch taken in the dirt, and runner moves up to third.
Really important for Hannah Culler to get that glove down and let that block happen on her chest. I'm hearing a lot of kneecap, shin there, and that ball gets away from her. This is an important run, Spike. Can't let this one get in. Nobody out here. Infield in, at least on the left side.
Oh, my. Down the left field line. That's trouble. Gone. A home run just stayed inside the foul pole. Couldn't have been fair by more than a foot. And that long, high, majestic drive scores 2 runs. And now Hilltop going to town. They have scored 3 this inning. They lead it now 12-3.
You know, nothing like easing your foot pain. You know, with a bomb, that was pretty impressive at bat. Fought off a lot of pitches in on her hands, and and got the ball out. Now, I think that was also a good line drive, but a little wind-aided. That ball should have been off the fence, but regardless, a home run makes it 12-3 Hilltop.
14, Maggie Altman.
I believe we've got a new hitter.
We do.
Yep, Altman's a new one, batting for Baker.
Liberty needs an out really bad here, and you get a chance to start over. You do not want another run to score and get down 10, and the pressure of the 5-inning game starts to loom. Liberty's got to do a good job here and put together some good defensive plays. They've been really inconsistent on defense,
and you know, I've seen them play every 4 of their 5 games, and their defense has been solid. I mean, solid. I saw one error that I recall in 4 games, and that was just a plain muff of a high hopping ground ball. But tonight it's been just a little different. Hasn't been terrible, but bases loaded, 2 outs, no runs in, and then that pop fly into right center field.
Good pitch.
Fouled straight back.
Again, Ella doing a good job of spinning at that time, a little slider away from the right-hander, Altman. I like the way Ella spins it. She gives you something different than Mackenzie Fuller does. Mackenzie's a power 4-seam fastball pitcher, and Ella does a good job putting some spin on the baseball or the softball.
Right back up the middle, and that's a base hit. Boy, they're starting to pound that middle.
Yeah.
Or not starting to. They've continued to do it all game.
You know, I don't know in my career, that has always been something that the middle infielders have just, I don't know if they're not aware of it, but, you know, they got to play the middle of the field a little tighter, and they were seeing a lot of balls being hit up the middle, and there's just a lot of space in the middle of the field, in particular with Eddie Zintek.
Yeah, and I would think that
at some point you've got to make an adjustment after about the 6th ball up the middle. I think that ball was a relatively manageable play, but Hilltop doing a good job taking advantage of Liberty's defense.
Shows bunt. Ball down in the dirt. Runner advances to second base.
And to me, that's Eddie Zintek is so far from second base that all the runner has to do is stay a half step in front of her. And
yeah,
I'm a little surprised she was covered on that, though. I guess right-handed hitter, but that's a tough spot to cover when you're that far into the hole to first base for Eddie.
Crew handles it on 2 hops, fires across the diamond and got
Tag.
the out. Runner
Got
goes
her.
to third.
Got her.
And she is out at third base. The Tigers pull a 5-3-5 double play.
Great
wow.
play. Mackenzie Fuller, just phenomenal job. I don't think she had an error last year as a freshman at first base, and that was a bullet. Great tag by Macy Crew, too.
Throw was right there.
And you got to give love to the umpire because he was out of position in the field, asked the home plate umpire for his opinion.
Yeah.
Made a good call.
That's a better call for the home plate umpire anyway. He's got the perfect view.
You're right, Spike. And bottom line, that's the best defensive play Liberty's made all day, and bailed them out, and maybe that'll get them going here a little bit in the bottom of the 4th. They need some runs, but good job by Liberty's defense right there.
In the hole and getting over there, can't come up clean is Atkinson. That probably on a kind of a slow hit ball, that would have been a hit regardless. We'll give her a base hit.
I agree with the scorer.
Yeah, that was a tough play.
Tough backhand.
And I was going to ask, how often, with your experience with girls softball, do you see base hits on the ground in the 2 holes between third and short and second and first?
You do. It's such a quick game, Spike. If you can get that third hop and you're going to a backhand or a deep forehand, that runner has a real good chance of beating that out for a base hit a lot in this game. Not as much in baseball with the distances.
Yeah.
But certainly in our game, you get that second or third hop, and you got a chance to beat that out, and that is a legitimate hit for sure.
So let's look at it this way. Now you look at the 2 holes on each corner. compare how many shots you think get through those holes as compared to up the middle.
I just think, you get that much of a gap up the middle, and offensively as a hitter, your bat and your hands have a tendency to go where your eyes are, right? And I see that big hole, and I'm thinking, stay inside the softball and get up the middle of the field. Now you're starting to see shortstop Hope Atkinson play a little bit more to second base.
Doesn't that look a little better? Swing and a miss.
Easy stolen base, but I think that count was 2-1, and we didn't challenge that runner. Now they've got the 13th runner in scoring position, so I'll watch Ella to stay away from this left-hander here. There it was. Good job.
Slaps it. Foul. Haley Jones is out there slapping at the ball, but she's 2 for 3 with a single and a home run. Well, a la inside the park. But she moves the ball all over the place, and was a good line drive into the outfield. So a little pop.
I do like a changeup. And I think that one of the things Mackenzie will develop as a mature pitcher when she gets older is a changeup. She's a straight fastball thrower, a couple spinners, but she likes to throw it hard. But I like Ella's off-speed pitch.
A little pop. That'll go foul again, out of play over on the third base side.
It's a big out here, Spike. Full count. Liberty needs an out really bad here to keep this game within 9 runs.
And a little slap. Over Crew's head. Hope Atkinson coming across, makes the grab, and that'll retire the side. But another big inning for Hilltop. They lead it 12-3.
The other night, the Hicksville game, Spike, if you were here, Liberty got out to a 2-0 start and then just had a rough inning there in the top of the second, and Hicksville just kind of finished the game in there. I think we struggled a little bit to put some outs together, and Hicksville took advantage. They're having a good season as well. This Hilltop team, very good, a lot like your teams in the league. They're a Evergreen, Swanton, Wauseon caliber program. They win 20 every year in the BBC, and this Hilltop team has not disappointed. They've done some good things today. Put the ball in play. They run the base as well, and you're getting a really nice pitching performance from Giada Rising. Liberty scores those runs early, and she's put a bunch of zeros up here as the game's gotten into the 5th.
Well, you take a game like this, and the girls seem to be exuberant and resilient. I think this if they consider it, take it the right way, and the coaches stick with them, they can use this to their advantage. Now they understand what it takes to play a good team and the things that you have to do.
3 freshmen in this lineup and 3 sophomores. 6 of your top 9 players are young players, and I think Coach Kyle knew that this was going to be an up and down start. The schedule's been good for them. They're 4-1 with 1 loss, but it's going to start getting tougher as every game goes by.
Yeah, a wily pitcher in Riser. Line shot right down the left field line. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Macy Crew rounds first. She'll come steaming into second base with a stand-up double.
Good job by Macy. Needed that. That was a good shot in the arm, and Liberty now back in business. If they can put together some runs, Spike, good job by Macy.
Yeah, this pitcher is not overwhelming. She doesn't have that Brian Golden Bear type of pitcher that's dominant. But Liberty Center just not quite putting everything together here so far. Little bunt out in front of the plate. That's going to be trouble. Pitcher grabs it, throws to first in time. A good bunt, but just...
If that ball gets out a little bit further to first base, now you've got a decision to make. You've got to have a first baseman that understands what you want to get done. Libby Baker would have had to make a call there, and Rising being the left-hander, so that was close, Spike, to being really well executed.
All right, Bridget Cabrera and Hammontree getting some playing time. And pitch down low.
Looks like Ella Miller is in this game. She now is
Oh,
hitting.
this is okay, she stays in the.
Yep.
So she's in there for Cabrera. My bad. Let's see. Ella Miller hitting .333 on the season.
You know, Liberty Center has a lot of 2- and 3-sport athletes. Ella Miller likes to focus on softball, and Mark said it earlier. She's worked a lot at it and really enjoys playing the sport. You can't have enough dedicated softball players in your program.
Yeah, softball is a unique sport. You know, you look at the other sports, but out in front of the plate, right to the pitcher. She gets it, fires to first, and run scores. Good job getting a jump out there, getting a good lead, and waiting for the pitcher to go to first base with it.
Well, Hilltop
Crew scores with a head-first slide.
Hilltop's probably liking what they see. They'll take those free outs when you're up 9 runs, and I like bunting. I like bunting in terms of a push or drag there because it makes the defense, it pressures the defense and makes them make a mistake. But these sacrifice or safety squeeze looking bunts are really easy to field, and
Yeah. All right, Addie Zintek with a single and a home run. Having a terrific season. Chops it up the middle. Shortstop moves over. Can't make the clean play, and it'll roll into center field. Ball was right in her glove wheelhouse. And Zintek safe at first on an error by the shortstop.
Put the ball in play. Good job, Addie Zintek, senior. Just put it in play and make Hilltop play defense. And in a day like today, Spike, you had a chance to get on base, and that's what Addie just did.
Atkinson takes one up high. Zintek gets a little jump down there. You know, when you're looking at a 12-3 game and you're already in the 4th inning and you've got young players involved, you know, coaching here may be saying, hey, let's win a battle. Let's win battles. We may not win this game. Got a long way to go, but let's win some battles that we can maybe have a better chance to win down the road. So a non-league game, this might not be everything bad. Shot into right field, coming on hard, dives, and makes the catch.
Fantastic catch.
Wow, the right fielder came in and dove, stretched out, made the grab. That would have possibly scored another run, but a big play. So the Tigers have to settle for 1 run on 1 hit. And after 4 innings, it's 12-4 Hilltop. Hilltop, by the way, has 12 runs on 13 hits. Liberty Center has 4 runs on 7 hits.
Well, they've taken advantage of some defensive lapses for Liberty Center as well. So they've really executed and made us pay for our mistakes, and they put some balls in play, Spike. They've hit the ball well all over the field, squaring the ball up against our pitchers. So this Hilltop team, now you know why they're 5-0. It's a good program, and Tom Shopper's done a great job there with over 200 wins in the program, and they win BBC titles on a regular basis. One of the, as I said on the opening of the broadcast, one of the top small school programs in all Northwest Ohio. Tom's got them playing good softball today.
Ella Miller remains on the mound.
You know, Ella does a good job, Spike. You know, she never throws the same pitch twice in a row. So the hitter's really got to make an adjustment to hit Ella. And I know that early in the season, in the scrimmage season, she had struggled a little bit. But, boy, she's really come on, and I like the way she throws the softball. Looks like we have a change of catcher as well with Laney Hammondtree, the freshman. Going to get some innings behind the dish. To speak to exactly what you're talking about, this may be the opportunity to get some experience and play through some things. I didn't think about that on those bunts, but maybe that's what that was.
Yeah.
Nikki's talked about not being very good at bunting right now and get some work done here.
Chop to third. Crew has it. 2 hops. Guns it across. And
she tagged
the
her.
swipe tag.
She tagged her. You got to come out and challenge that.
The ball pulled.
I think Nikki's going to come out. She tagged her. That was a great job by McKenzie.
Yes, made the big play there. A great. Yeah, you called it. That's a first baseman for you.
But they're not going to. They're going to give her the base there, and I think I'd come out and challenge that.
Oh, I thought she. Yeah,
it's a good
I
tag
thought she
by
had
McKenzie.
the tag on her. Well,
she did have the tag on her. It's a missed call. This is a great crew.
Chop to third. Crew knocks it down, picks it up, guns it over again, and that's going to be too high. I think that would have been a bang play. Crew knocked it down, but safe at first. And it's just one of those games where Liberty Center is just a half a bubble off.
You know, Scott Hellberg is one of the best umpires in all of Northwest Ohio, and Scotty always gets the call right. But that one I think he missed. Great tag by McKenzie on the play before, and now Hilltop back in business.
Yeah, that's a for an umpire, that is a very tough call, whether contact was made on a big swipe.
Well, I think you got to go to the home plate umpire on that because he got a really good angle, and that's tough when you're defending yourself against a 10-run rule limit. You need that out, and Ella does a great job getting that out there, and just excellent job on Mackenzie Fuller.
That's a good point, though, Scott, because the base umpire has to be outside to watch.
Yep.
That was a home plate umpire call, but
pitch just danced around that outside corner, but taken for a called ball.
You know, to Coach Kyle's credit, she's not one to yell and scream from that dugout, and got to respect that professionalism from Nikki.
And a little soft liner into center field. That's going to be a base hit. 1 run scores, heading for third, standing up. They fake the throw, and not in time. Now the throw comes errant, bounces off the glove, and the second run of the inning scores. Hilltop finding ways to continue this rally. 2 soft singles, maybe could have been called an error. Missed call, and all of a sudden Hilltop comes up with 2 more. Just everything, I mean, right now, this is like the futures market, and everything they touch is turning into a 500% profit.
Taking advantage, too, of some missed throws, a ball off a glove, and, just every mistake we make, they seem to take advantage of it. So Liberty's got to tighten up the defense. When you're playing a team that's going to win a lot of games like Hilltop, you got to bring your best defense, and today has not been a great defensive day for Liberty Center.
Okay, runner on second. Nobody out. A little shot into center field right there. No, off the glove. Rolling to the fence. 1 run scores, rounding second. Throw to the infield. Cut off there by Atkinson. And Conley winds up on third base.
I'm not sure who is in center. I think, is that going to be Bailey Crow in center field? Because we had Mackenzie Fuller go to first. Is that Bailey out there, the freshman? No, she went over from first because Mackenzie, Crow was playing first? Or she playing? Capretta was playing first. Okay. Outfield switch, and really struggled with that ball. That ball was in her glove, though. Got to finish that play. And Hilltop now put up a lot of crooked numbers, Spike.
This is just one of them stink pot games. You got to learn from it. Put it behind you and move on. Hopefully the girls, of course, tomorrow is not very promising, the weather. But little pop-up, Atkinson moving over, and Zintek charging, backs off at the last minute, and the first out of the inning on a pop-up.
That isn't the 13th time Addie Zintek wants to do a front roll and run somebody over with her hustle. That she came all the way over to the left side of the infield, and Atkinson is camp Spike, and here comes Zintek, 350 miles an hour, but wants to make a play, and good job by Hope.
Crossgrove with 2 hard-hit balls, a home run and a line single over third. Altman, number 14. Okay. It's Altman, okay, in for Crossgrove. Shot up the middle, moving over Atkinson, gloves it, guns it, and safe at first. Boy, Atkinson made a good play, got her glove on the ball, hit up the middle, released it quickly. That was a strong point of that play, but the speed of Altman gets her safe at first. A good play, but it scored a run now.
And we're playing so deep at short there, and I think they've made a change. You're going to put Addie Zintak at short and Hope at second. It just, with Hope's knee and ankle, it's a little bit tougher for her to range.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. That's right.
Yeah, it's harder to range than Addie Zintak. A couple steps, 3 steps faster. It's gone to shortstop.
Swing and a miss. Ball gets away, and the runner will advance to second base. So 1 out, 0-1 count now, and Hilltop able to push buttons and make everything happen. Ball in the dirt. Good stop. Runner has to hold at second.
Laney Hammondtree doing a good job blocking the ball in the dirt. And I think Ella Miller's doing a really good job of keeping the ball low in the zone and looking for ground balls.
Yeah. They're not hitting Miller hard. It's just well-placed grounders and a couple of decent shots, but nothing like a pounding. But it's just one of them days where line drive. Now that was a good shot. 2-hop all the way to center field. The run will score on the throw to the plate. Ball bounces around, and the runner, Baker, will move up to second base.
Yeah, Liberty struggled hitting cutoffs out of center field today, and another opportunity for Hilltop to take an extra base. You've got to hit the cutoff, Spike, and keep that runner on first. And you understand the exuberance to try to throw ahead, and maybe make a play at the plate, but this Liberty team has struggled there with relays and cutoffs, and that's another example of it. And Ella Miller's doing a good job backing up the catcher and doing her job. So, structurally the defense moved properly, but got to work at hitting that cutoff.
Addison Vance Zuver now pinch hitting. Pitch taken away.
I have to tell you, this is to be kind of expected, Spike, with a young team. This is a young team with, 5, 6, and 7 freshmen and sophomores in this lineup, depending on who comes in and out. But
well, Hicksville came in with a loaded team.
They did.
That was a game they slipped in, late on the schedule, and I didn't even hear about it. Of course, I was busy that night anyway. But
no, we have a magician as an AD. He slips games in. He reads the forecast every 9 minutes and schedules on the hour, and cancels on the hour.
Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 1-2 the count. But Liberty, this is just everything has happened that could, would, should, and shouldn't, and couldn't. And
you got to get the basics right, and Liberty has struggled with some of those basics. And here's another one right
ball
here.
into center field, moving back and over, and under it, makes the catch.
I know that Nikki has really spoken highly of some of these freshmen. Bailey Crow was one of them, and you go from playing – you can play multiple positions. You're in the 4-hole. Bailey Crow is going to be and is a very good player and going to be a good player for Liberty Center for a long time. It's nice to see some of these younger players getting some at-bats and some experience.
Line drive, a high liner over her head. That's going to go all the way to the wall. It'll score another run. Holy moly, rounding second, going for third. The throw up the line and safe at third on a burn triple. Graham now with a
wheels,
single, double, and a triple.
Now she can really run, and Sophia Graham can. She's the girl that can run, and she's in the bottom of the lineup, right where you want some speed to generate runs. in their big games later in the year, she's going to be a big factor for Hilltop in the bottom of that lineup.
And up the middle, knocked down and throw to first. And did they? No, they call her safe on an infield single. Wow.
Well, that's one. Scotty's got to look at that scoreboard, and all ties go to the defender there at 19-4. And
wow,
Scotty typically knows how to make that call, and he's missed a couple. He's a great umpire, but that one's an out to me at 19-4. Ella Miller plunks number 4. I don't have her name.
Number 4 is Kuzma.
Brooklyn Kuzma. Going to make another pitching change, or just a defensive change here? I did not think Ella Miller did a bad job. I just defensively, we started to really leak 7 runs here in the 5th. And
Haley Jones, the diminutive leadoff hitter, is 4 for 5 with 2 singles, a double, and a home run. What a job of hitting. All right. Pitch high and away.
Liberty just looking to get it out any way possible here.
Conley has been on base. She hasn't had a hit. She's had a walk and was safe on a throwing error, but officially 0 for 4. Oh my. Ball with some elevation, moving over, makes the catch in center field. Side retired. A whole passel of runs for Hilltop. They lead it now 19-4 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. And of course, the 10-run rule after 5 in effect.
All right. Once again, let's thank our sponsors here, is because they make these broadcasts possible, and that's Holgate Metal Fab, Gerald Grain Centers, Pisanello's Pizza, Swanton Welding, Davis Farm Services, Ohio Asphalt Paving, Affinity IT Group, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, and KK Collision. Again, they support us, folks, so please support them. And join us tomorrow as the Genoa Comets are scheduled to come to town, take on our baseball team. That'll be our inaugural baseball broadcast. Mr. Scott Barrett's going to join us, bringing that mystery guest in, and Mr. Steve Parasini. So if we get it in, folks. If not, we'll let you know. We'll post on social media once we know about the schedule. So if you don't hear from me, we'll be there.
Spike Liberty's in a tough spot here, down 19-4. Got to scratch out some runs to stay alive, and you got to give credit where credit is due. Giada Rising, the left-hander from Hilltop, outside of that first inning, has done a really nice job of controlling Liberty's offense.
Yeah, and it's not with anything overwhelming. She's just moving the ball inside and out, changes speeds, changes spots, and has just kept Liberty just off balance.
I wouldn't be surprised to watch Mackenzie Fuller take something deep here if she's offered anything near the plate.
Takes a pitch, high and away, ball 1. Good eye. That pitch was out there just outside the parameters.
Really good hitter here for Liberty. One of the best hitters in the area, Mackenzie Fuller.
Takes inside 2-0.
That's that slider. She's been working against our right-handers all day and getting that soft contact with the biter right on the
chopping them off at
the fingernails. Little 2-0 pitch. Turn her loose here. Ooh. Mackenzie's front foot is when she goes and strides towards that pitcher, she's really set up to almost pull or be left center because that left foot a little bit to the outside when she steps.
Slightly wide stance. Hits it up on the infield. First baseman moving over, and the wind continues to blow hard, and it simply moved the ball away from her. And it'll be a wind-blown base hit.
You know, when I coached, I wanted a lot of ground balls. Today, I want no fly balls. I would have, my offensive game plan would have said, hit the ball in the air as much as you possibly can. It's been a circus out there today with that wind.
Crow for 2. Fuller gets back in time, safe at first.
A couple of these Liberty Center hitters in that front foot stepping a little bit in the bucket, leaving that outside third of the plate wide open here.
Pitch up high.
Like to see these hitters
2-0.
stride right towards the pitcher, not step to their left or step to the third baseline.
I like as a whole, I like the hitters' approach this year.
Aggressive
At the plate. I like their attitudes. Got her on an off speed, it looked like. Got behind the pitch. I'm not sure about the off speed, but it was behind it. 2-1. Pitch taken up high.
I like what I see from Bailey Crow. Good looking swing, pretty aggressive hitter. Now, this has got to be driving Coach Shopper nuts at Hilltop. They're up 19-4, and we're out here missing easy pop flies and walking people. So Liberty's got a chance here to hang in with a couple runs.
Yeah, something to feel good about yourself. Aubrey Zeider had a double in the first inning.
Pinson now up for Liberty, number 25.
Okay, Pinson.
Kylie Pinson.
I think she was in left, and Crow moved to center, I think.
Ooh. Got around a little bit late, but got a lot of bat on the ball. It's lying foul off to the left side.
These flies in here are big as pterodactyls.
They're terrible. And a high hard one, strike 3. That's the first out of the inning. Foster, a slap single and a strikeout. 1 for 2.
You know, Madison really runs well, and you know, you got a girl that runs this well from the left-handed side. All you have to really do is get this ball in between pitcher, third base, catcher, and that's the Bermuda
that
Triangle.
Playing way back, and that has to be in the eyes of Foster. Choking up way on the bat, now puts the. She made a bunt attempt on a high pitch, called a strike, now 1-2.
And Rising just again throwing those sliders away from that slapper who's already stepping away from the plate. Hard to reach that pitch. Pitching those slappers on the outer half. There it is again.
Working that outside corner again, too far outside.
And Maddie's got to get on top of the plate with 2 strikes, defend, and put this ball in play no matter what she does. There it is. Go.
Chop to third. Comes, gets it, steps on third for the force.
You know, that slapping is it's an art. It's like throwing darts. You got to really work hard to place it, but that's a really good job. Madison Foster's worked hard on that and continues to be an important weapon for Liberty Center.
So, Liberty Center down to their last hope. Trailing 19-4 here in bottom of the 5th. And let's see, Macy Crew, 1 for 2 with a double. Shot, just foul down the third base line. Got around on it pretty quick. Macy's got a good quick bat.
daughter of Carrie Crew and sister of Delaney Crew, another good player in the program, and a lot of good ball players in that house, baseball and softball.
Yeah, open stance.
Nice pitch.
Takes it off speed and takes it for now a strike and a 1-2 count here with 2 outs. Tigers have 2 runners on. They'd like to get something going. Takes high, ball.
Great job today by Rising. She's kept Liberty off kilter most of the game outside of that first inning, and Hilltop's got themselves a good-looking duo of pitchers, but been really impressed with Giada today for Hilltop. She's going to take them a long way in their conference. Ooh, oh boy.
Just a little bit too high.
Now the catcher looks back to have a conversation. That is not what you do. But he missed it. He missed that.
Yeah, that was right there close.
Yeah,
so we're looking at a full count with 2 outs.
Let's see if Macy Crew can get one in the jet stream here and get this thing a little closer. There you go.
And there it goes. Fly ball into left. That's going to be trouble overhead, and it's gone. A 3-run homer by Macy Crew. Tigers now inch back to within 19-7. Macy Crew got it in the wheelhouse. And I'm not sure the wind had a lot to do with that, but that ball was tagged.
You see that? You see that flag? That wind had a lot to, I appreciate that. It was hit well, but she got it in the jet stream just like we wanted it, and Liberty crawls back within a couple runs of trying to get this game extended. And Macy's a battler. She had a great year last year, an all-league player, and as a junior, and she really came through there for Liberty. A nice home run to left field by Macy Crew.
Well, Liberty scored in 3 out of the 5 innings, but Hilltop has scored in 4 out of the 5 innings. A little differently.
This is a player to watch for Liberty, this Laney Hammontree. Tough player, battler, multiple position player.
Good cut, but misses. Now 0-2 the count.
Spike, one question for you. Who do you got tonight for the national championship? Anybody? Who's your pick, Florida?
I kind of like Florida. I like their guards.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Oh, shot to third. Long throw. Not in time. Safe at first. Wow. Good job. Base hit. Tough play for the third baseman. Made it clean. But Hammontree beats it out.
Good battle. I like that AB too, Spike. She was down in the count and just put the bat on the ball. And that's what you've got to do when you're down and out. You've got to get the bat on the ball. Good job, Laney Hammontree.
Pitch down there just above the knees for a called strike.
A.D. Pullman may be onto something with Houston's defense, the way they closed out Duke the other night. That was all defense.
Yeah, Duke one field goal in the last what?
If you got to get 1 of 3. Inbound the ball, get a rebound, hit a free throw. They did none of those.
Yeah.
And Houston just clamped them down. And oh, there you go.
Little shot. That's going to be trouble. Shortstop grabs it, guns it across.
Oh, no, she's safe.
And safe at first base. I couldn't see it looking into the sun. Did the ball pop?
Yes, it did.
It popped out.
Now, if Addie Zintek gets one of the jet stream like she did earlier, now we got ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, we're making a case.
Yeah, we get a jet stream shot here. We play on. I still go back. One play out of a bunch doesn't matter, but bases loaded, 2 outs, no runs in, and they hit that Texas League double to score 3. And you get them out of there with no runs. A shot right at the shortstop, takes a bad hop, and it's a base hit on the infield on a hard hit ball by Addie Zintek. That shot took that 2 short hops, and then on the second one, you see it 1,000 times. The revolutions on the ball change, and it comes up and hits her near the throat. And now the Tigers have them bases loaded with Hope Atkinson.
You know, Liberty Center really battling here late in the game, and that's a tribute to Nikki Kyle and this young team. They've not given up. This thing's 19-4, and you could pack this in and go get yourself a TV dinner and a cranberry juice. Not tonight. Liberty is going to fight to the end. Swanson's
well,
TV
you've
dinner.
got Hope Atkinson and Mackenzie Fuller coming up. This thing may not it's a long way to go, but it may not be over.
Scott, I'm going to come over to your house for one of them Swanson TV dinners with the
Salisbury-
aluminum foil on the top.
Salisbury,
That's
Salisbury
right,
steak.
buddy.
We serve some cranberry juice in a 6-ounce cup. There you go. Oh, there it is. You know,
First
Spike,
pitch hitting.
you
and
said it early.
drives it foul.
You said earlier about Liberty's aggressiveness, and I'll tell you, it's going to pay off for them.
Oh yeah, I love their mentality at the plate. They come to play the game. You know, we've only had maybe 4 strikeouts today from an offensive standpoint. They make contact. All right, wind and the pitch.
There you go.
Right at the third baseman, makes a good play on the ball, steps on the bag, and that'll end it 19-7. Scott, I don't know if there's a whole lot we need to say in a post game here. It's Hilltop came to play. They hit the ball, and a few breaks, and they tagged it. They end up with 21 hits.
That's a lot of hits, but Liberty's defense also helped them out a lot tonight. But this is a young Liberty Center team, aggressive approach to the plate, and I think it's going to long-term pay off. This was probably a good game to reset on defense. Nicky's got things to teach, and Liberty's approach on offense is impressive. So they're going to win some ball games this year.
Okay. Well, with that all said, 19-7, your final in 5 innings. Liberty Center hopefully will come back tomorrow night. We'll see, but this is Liberty goes to 4-2, but it's a good young team and one that I think we're going to enjoy watching down through the years. So for all of us here, Boomer and the captain and Bucky and Spiker, 19-7 Hilltop, and it'll remain a good late afternoon, but it'll still be good Tiger sports.